Ohio State's getting cleaned out after winning the Natty, man. They win the CFP title, and we see the offensive coordinator and Chip Kelly now go to the Las Vegas Raiders, making a return to the NFL. He will now be their offensive coordinator. We know that Ohio State lost Al Golden also to, no, maybe it wasn't Al Golden. I can't remember who exactly, but they lost their defensive coordinator to Penn State. What are your thoughts on Chip Kelly returning to the NFL and, of all teams, choosing the Vegas Raiders with Pete Carroll as that new head coach?
So Chip Kelly, his legacy is a little tainted in the NFL. Like, really quickly to break it down, it's very difficult to coach in a hardcore sports town, especially Philly. And when something goes even if it's a minor problem, even if you miss the playoffs 1 year, you have guns pointed at you, right? And Chip Kelly had a few years there. It was just going downhill. Questionable head coaching decisions in Philly, got booted out. Bad tenure with the Niners. It was a disaster. Went to college football, and I'm sure you can touch on this a little more than me, AJ. You probably have a little more experience. But from what I understood, the offense was pretty good with Ohio State, and Chip Kelly was running that. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
I think as an offensive coordinator, it's not bad. I mean, I don't think it's earth-shattering. I'm not super excited to see it. There could be a lot worse, definitely could be a lot better. But I think the important thing for Vegas is you now have Pete Carroll who's going to run the show. There won't be any head coaching or big decision blunders that you might have had with Chip Kelly in the past. And Chip Kelly can just be solely regulated to running and coaching up a really, really good offense. They don't have a ton of talent. I don't even know who their starting quarterback is. Maybe Aiden O'Connell right now. I
Desmond
couldn't
Ritter,
tell you.
maybe.
And
Yeah.
maybe, but
Yeah.
I think Chip Kelly gets a really bad rep because he did coach in Philly. If he coached elsewhere and it was 2 failed seasons, it probably would have just been any other coach. I don't think it's that bad. But again, as long as Pete Carroll's running the operation, I think they're fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I was a little surprised to see a guy like Chip Kelly choose the Raiders out of all positions. Now, of course, these offensive coordination positions were getting filled as time went on. But I think when you talk about kind of a college historian in Chip Kelly with USC comes to, or excuse me, I mean, even, with Chip Kelly as well. But when I was meaning to mention Pete Carroll, excuse me, with USC, building that absolute, powerhouse over there, being able to get to success, going over to the Seahawks, able to build that Legion of Boom up as well. Winning the Super Bowl, going back to another one, just a lot of great things that Pete Carroll was able to do. We see him step out a little bit, just become a consultant. Now he's back in the spotlight as a head coach. And then with Chip Kelly as well, he's been coaching in the NFL for 35 years. When you take a look back at, or not coaching in the NFL, excuse me, he's been coaching for 35 years in football, from quarterbacks coach, all the way up to offensive coordinators. He was great at Oregon from 2009 to 2012, lost the Rose Bowl, lost the national championship game with Marcus Mariota. I want to say that might have been, or no, actually that doesn't feel accurate. I think maybe Mariota came couple seasons after that. Won the Rose Bowl in 2011 and won the Fiesta Bowl as well. His time at UCLA was okay, a 35-34 record, 26-26 in the division. So he exited his college career as 81-41. But when you look how he went to Philly in 2013 and 2014, in the last year of Andy Reid, they go 4-12. The offense is 29th in points, 15th in yards. Obviously Michael Vick was helping run the show over there. You've got Jeremy Maclin at receiver, LaShawn McCoy as well. Then you bring Chip Kelly in. They immediately improved to 10-6, 4th in points, 2nd in yards. So they have an elite offense, finished 1st in the division. But unfortunately, they do lose the wild card. Comes back next year, another 10-6 season, 3rd in points, 5th in yards. So Chip Kelly, and this was with Nick Foles. Then this was with Mark Sanchez. And then you had Deshaun Jackson and Jeremy Maclin being your leading receivers, and then LaShawn McCoy kind of being able to play things out as well. Then he gets let go in 2015. It's a 7-9 finish for the Eagles. They're 13th in points, 12th in yards. So definitely kind of a fall off there. But when you look at what he did really in 13 and 14, and maybe the league hadn't switched too much yet, but when you talk about what Chip Kelly's been able to do, I feel like this is exactly what, the Raiders need. This is kind of this new energy, this new juice that Las Vegas really needs, because we saw what he just did with Ohio State, turning them into the unstoppable juggernaut and winning the college football playoffs. I think them losing to Michigan was really the best thing that happened to them. I know it's not a college football segment here, but Chip Kelly was under a lot of heat for that. And so was Ryan Day. They go and they absolutely blow through everybody. I mean, people knew after that Tennessee game, and really after that Oregon game, this is the team to beat. Like, there's no question. And as a Dogs fan, I was like, man, if we meet them in the Natty, we can beat them. No, the hell we couldn't. First of all, we didn't make it there. And second of all, I know that they might have only beat Notre Dame by, I think it was 10 to 14 points, but that game was not nearly as close as it looked. And a lot of that had to do with Chip Kelly. But I think one thing that you got to look at here is, he can't be stubborn and try to establish the run game when it isn't working. We did see that be a fault of his at Ohio State, because Amir Abdullah and Alexander Madison, the running backs currently with, the two main running backs with Vegas, really won't cut it there. And the prior head coaching experience, again, is really going to be something that I think the Raiders really need that. It's when you talk about a combination of Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly, it's kind of like two peas in a pod. It's not going to be perfect exactly, but these guys have proven success and proven results to where you're not going to be scratching your head more times than not as this season plays out for Vegas. Now, whether it's Desmond Ridder, whether it's Aiden O'Connell at the quarterback position, again, a lot of that is going to ride on Chip Kelly being able to either mold them and mentor them into what they need to be. But I don't think that's going to cut it. The Raiders hold the 6th overall pick in this year's draft, so they possibly need to draft a quarterback at 6 if there is one there, or trade up and draft a quarterback, which I do not think is off the table either. So overall, I think it's great for the Raiders that Chip Kelly decided to come here, but what is Chip Kelly really going to be able to work with? That's the big question. We know Devontae Adams, he leaves the Raiders. Now he's with the Jets, and, he's going to be there. Obviously, he's not going to be able, not be able, but he's not going to return, so it's a very talent-stricken offense. Yes, you've got Brock Bowers. Yes, you've got Michael Mayer as well, but you got a lot of question marks for the Chip Kelly offensive unit that are going to be answered as this season comes along.
Hey, it's AJL here. Appreciate you sticking to the end of the video here on YouTube. You could have chose any other show, but you chose my video, and for that, I'm very grateful. If you haven't already, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media. Hit the bell on the channel so you never miss a post. Check me out on all social media platforms. Right here, you'll find a chance to subscribe to the show, a related video, and a playlist. See you guys in the next one.